For most of my life, I've always been a LEGO purist. It wasn't even something I really thought about, I just stayed away from the other brands. I guess I always associated them with weird builds and poor quality pieces. But recently, I've started to change my mind. I bought a few custom minifigs, either to save money or because LEGO hasn't made them. LEGO's gotten so expensive that I try to only buy sets if they're 20% off or more, and they also just don't make a lot of stuff I'm interested in anymore. And so, I decided to try Lumi Bricks. This is their Castle Treasury set. In this video, I'm going to review it, compare it to LEGO, and discuss its pros and cons. This isn't sponsored or anything, just my honest thoughts. The first thing I like to say is, man, this thing is big. As in, like, I can barely film it big. It uses 3,209 pieces and measures 14 inches by 13.5 inches by 21 inches tall. It doesn't just use small pieces like a lot of LEGO sets these days. It uses big rock panel pieces and large plates. But of course, the main feature of Lumibricks that sets them apart from other brands is the lights. The set includes a light kit that is installed while building, and all of this only costs $160. If this was made by LEGO, it would easily be double the price without the lights. Let's take a closer look. The bottom floor is mostly just rocks. It has a connector piece right here, so you could connect it to a different set and only need to use one battery pack. It's got 2 torches and a stairway that goes up to the other floor. If we open it up, there's going to be a lot more inside. So this is the basement level of the castle. So if we're looking over right here, we've kind of got a treasure room where the king keeps all his gold. We've got a neat little printed book right there. And everything in the set is printed. There are no stickers, so that is very nice. This is the battery back here. There are 2 more torches inside. There's this like common area and like a fireplace here, except the fireplace actually doesn't light up, which kind of annoys me. They did make it so that it can like slide out so you can access it, but I have had a tough time sliding it. As you can see, the pieces just don't fit very well. I don't know why, but it's definitely not as nice as Lego's right there. On the second floor, there was another sliding thing that I have had a problem with. I don't know why that one has been a bit rough. There's another little treasure room here, and it has a sliding door mechanism, which is cool. And there's this like secret passage out, and that can be opened up by opening that and then sliding the door. In the back here, you have a connector piece that connects to the top floor, so you don't have to have any wires or something connecting the 2 floors. And there's another one back here, so that if you had a third set, you could connect that as well. The top section connects with just a few little studs, as you can see, and it just lights up automatically once the metal pieces connect back there. I have had a little bit of trouble with it. It looks like it's working this time, which is good, but the 2 pieces back here weren't connecting right. It's happened 1 or 2 times. I was able to get it to work, but it seems like it's not quite perfect. So if anybody who actually works for Lumibricks ends up watching this video, I would say that's your #1 thing, to just make sure these connections back here work really well, because the lights are like the main feature of the thing, so I feel like that's really important. But for whatever reason, it is working this time, and it is super cool. At the entrance, we've got these very nice looking printed banners and some other cool details. The doors also look very nice. Inside, there is another little torch right there. There are also these braziers right here that kind of like kind of very slowly flicker on and off. They're cool and they're a step in the right direction. It would be nice to have some like things that actually flicker and look like fire, which I'm pretty sure, well, I know it's possible. Like this LED right here that I have, sorry it's not in focus, but it definitely just flickers on its own. There's no effect for it or anything, it's just an LED that flickers. I stole it out of one of these little fake candle things for LEGO projects, so I know it's possible for there to be LEDs that flicker realistically. It's probably more complicated than that to get it into a little tiny thing that can fit in there, but hopefully someday they can figure out how to do that. But they still look really nice. These stained glass windows look really good with the lights behind them to make them glow, and I also really like the way the roof looks. This side here isn't as interesting as the other side, but I do like these windows here on the other side, and this brown thing here is actually bridge that connects to the other set if you have it, but I actually don't. I had to choose whether I wanted this one or the other one, and I personally thought this one looked better. So yeah, it's kind of a bridge leading to nowhere, which I feel is weird. It would have been nice if they could have just included another stained glass window or something to put there if you don't have the other set, because yeah, it's kind of dumb to have either a bridge to nothing or a wooden cover that looks kind of odd. I don't know, I just wish they included something else. The backside doesn't have a whole lot going on, but it is important to note that it actually is finished. A lot of LEGO sets these days will kind of just leave it open so you can look inside, but I like that they actually included a finished back in case you don't want it to be like that. To open it up, this panel here just comes off, and this one just slides out. We've got some more treasure in here and a bunch more lights. I really like these printed banners in here, and there's also some portraits back there. Actually, one of my favorite details is this kind of ceiling design up here. I just really like the way that looks. Really cool when something like the ceiling that you don't normally notice is interesting. There's the red carpet that leads up to the throne, which also has a very nice design, and it's got a neat little printed shield there that looks very good. I also like the dark orange for the floors. I've never actually tried using dark orange for a floor before, but I think it looks really good, especially in real life. I don't love the way it looks on camera, but in real life, I really like it. And it does look like there should be a room in here, both because it's lit up and because there's plenty of space, but there isn't really. I mean, you can yank off the roof, and there you can see the connection not being great, but kind of like I was mentioning earlier. But as you can see, they did add a little bit of detail in here, but there's no like bed or room or anything like here if this is like the king's chamber or whatever, which is what I would do up here. But there's not really much here. You can't get inside here really. There's nothing that comes off unless you really want to tear it apart, so that is kind of too bad. I would like to be able to access it in here. I get that it's kind of tough with the little spiky details, but it would be cool if there was more here. This second floor of the tower also doesn't really have a good way to get in unless you want to tear this whole top piece off, but actually the very top of the tower does have a little piece that just slides off, and there's this little ring inside, so you know, you could use that space, and I appreciate that they designed it so that you could at least access that part even if these other spots, there's not a good way to do that. Some of you may have noticed that this set happens to have a perfect color scheme to match with the castle MOC I'm building right now. That honestly was not intentional, but it worked out so perfectly that don't be surprised if the set ends up making its way into this MOC somewhere. And just because I'm a MOC nerd, I want to point out the cool pieces that were in the set. There were some wedge tiles, and LEGO's never made those, and MOC builders, I really want LEGO to make them, so that's cool. There are plenty of gold pieces all throughout the build that LEGO has never made. The windows here use turntables in clear. The doors over here were once made by LEGO, but haven't been made in quite a long time, so it's really cool to be getting those. These cones up here, also in dark red, haven't been made since like 2007 or something, so they're really hard to find, so it's good to have some. Even if they're off-brand, I don't care. There are also these double-sided little plate pieces that for some reason LEGO refuses to make, I don't know why. And then these little 2x2 jumper sort of plates are also really cool. The set comes with 5 figures. I'm certainly biased, but I don't love these as much as minifigs. I don't really blame them because I'm sure the company is trying to avoid any trademark issues. At least all the accessories, hair, headwear pieces, and cape are compatible with minifigs. The worst part was the arms and hands, which weren't pre-assembled like LEGO and were hard to get together. There aren't any anti-studs on the legs, so they can't sit down too well. The designs themselves are nice, but I wish this guy's shield was printed like the other one. As for how the build compares to LEGO, the design looks very good and is also very strong. Whoever designed it clearly knows what they're doing. I found the piece connections to be just a little too tight. That did make it a little less fun to build, and my fingers started to get sore from pushing harder than usual. I get that it's difficult for a smaller company to compete with a huge brand when it comes to such incremental tolerances, but I thought I'd mention it. In summary, the pros are the amazing eye-catching design, the lights, the size, and the price. The cons are the imperfect connection between upper and lower floors, the pieces not fitting together as smoothly as LEGO, and the figures being a bit annoying to assemble. So would I recommend this set? Absolutely. I mean, this thing looks just amazing, and $160 is a great price, just compared to Lego sets of the same price. The medieval blacksmith here also retailed for $160, and as you can see, it's nowhere near the same size. And this one comes with a full light kit. Also, I was able to get this one on sale for Black Friday, so this one was actually only $130 when I bought it, versus I think I paid $150 for this one. Since LEGO has mostly been ignoring its Castle fans, I really suggest y'all start looking at other options out there. I don't see any reason to continue to give my money to a brand that lately seems to care more about profit than quality and its fans. I'm not completely moving away from LEGO, but I'm going to pay more attention to the other options out there. I hope you've liked this video, and you should go check out Lumibricks. They've got lots of cool stuff. And finally, I'd like to go into a bit more detail about the connection problem I've been having back here for those people who are interested. So it only has really happened one time when I would like push down and it would turn on, but then I would let go and it would turn off, and that time it was really annoying. After that, I haven't really had any major problems. I've had a little bit of taking a couple times pushing it down to get it to work, but no major issues, which I think is odd. I don't think I really changed anything, so I don't know what that is. But what I think the problem is, if I move this, if we take a closer look on here, it looks like you'll notice a couple little dents from the top connector that are made into little copper plates on here, and I think that's part of the problem because I assume when it dents it down, it makes it a little bit harder for the two pieces to connect. And I can show you what the other piece looks like. The piece right here is the same as the one that goes on top of here, so I'll just show you this one. So it looks like it looks almost like the tip of a screw, but it does have a little bit of a springy end of it, so, but as you can see, it's kind of these little points that poke onto there, and so that's certainly what's causing the dents. I'm not for sure that that is what is causing the connection issue, but I would think that if perhaps these were a bit more like flat, they wouldn't dent it as much and the connection wouldn't wear down over time. And I'm assuming that's what's causing the issue because as far as I can tell, everything else is working perfectly fine. I can't see anything else that could be causing the problem. So what I would do to fix it, I'm not like an electrician or anything, but I would just have less pointy ends that are more like flat and have a wider connection. So that way it's not damaging the lower piece and they can connect a bit better. But all of the times I've had problems with the light connection have been when I've been like moving the floors around, like taking one floor off or just moving the entire build around. So with it being on display most of the time, it's not going to be a big problem. It's just a little something that's annoying. It's not like a deal breaker or anything. The lights still work really well.